Hey folks, welcome to Chapter 11, Building Customer Relationships Through Effective Marketing. So today we're going to talk about just how to market and marketing in general. So some questions I want you to think about as you go through this chapter. Really, I want you to think about what part of the marketing mix typically gets you to buy. Which do you think is the most relevant for Patagonia? I know we've been doing a lot of work with Patagonia and reading from Chenard's book, but which one do you think is most relevant to them in terms of the marketing mix? What companies do you buy from and why? It's really important to understand what companies you align with, because it will help you when you're looking for that next potential career stop to understand better what's a good fit for you. It's all about deeper purpose. Understanding why you purchase from certain companies could also result in why you might work for a certain company. I think it's important for us as consumers and business individuals to define what high-end customer service is. And then I think lastly, speaking of stakeholder and what Mackey says about business, do you believe that if you do business with a company, that makes that company accountable to you as a stakeholder? And so just some things to think about as we move through this. So, introduction. So, marketing, it's the activity and set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, and delivering offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and just society at large. So it's a way for us to put out a message in basically in pretty basic terms. How do we put out a message based on a product that we're looking to deliver to customers? It's also important for us to understand value. A value is a customer's estimation of the worth of a product based on comparison of its cost and benefits. So if you think about what are the things that you value, may depend on what other people value, or they may not even be close to what other people value. Value is extremely relative to you as an individual and to the specific products you're looking to buy. So there's 8 major marketing functions. This is going to be a little bit different. A lot of people really look at marketing strictly as kind of advertising and sales. We have a product and we want to get that product to market, and we want to get people to learn about that product. It's much more than that, okay? So that buying, selling piece, which are the 2 first components or functions, that is kind of what we think of, the buying, selling, right, of products, but also materials. So marketing is also the buying and selling of raw materials to make products, okay? And then the selling, which creates possession utility by transferring the title of a product from one seller to another. So there's the buying and selling piece, that's the exchange function. The physical distribution function really is about transporting and storing. How do we transport products? How do we store products? How do we deliver products? And so that's a really important piece, believe it or not, in terms of the marketing mix on why customers might potentially buy from you, how we transport it. Think Amazon, right? Okay, so think Amazon. So finally, the facilitating functions, right? Those are financing, standardizing, risk-taking, and gathering, right? The financing piece allows us to put money into buying raw materials, extending credit to customers, launching new products, launching new marketing plans. And so that financing piece is really important, because without the money you couldn't do any of this. Standardization, how do we set uniform specifications for products and services and then grade them? Are they really living up to the standards? And so that's the standardizing piece is really important. Risk-taking, that's all about entrepreneurship. That's all about, taking a chance to produce a product like a cell phone, right? So that was a risk to produce this. And so when they produced this, they took a risk. And so that's all part of that marketing piece. Understanding that, yes, there may be a need, but sometimes you won't know if there's a need until you actually produce the product and then distribute it and launch it. And then gathering. I think that's one of the most important aspects, because now you have launched this product, you've created this marketing campaign, but now you need to gather information to find out if it's even viable, right? If the product really is satisfying those needs and wants of your customers. And so really understanding what you're looking for when you're gaining or gathering marketing intelligence is extremely important, and it helps you make decisions down the road. How do we manage our customer relations? Basically through CRM systems. So ideally, what you want to do when you're establishing relationships is making them long-term relationships. It's always cheaper to keep an existing customer as opposed to going out and getting new customers. And so what we use these CRM systems, and these CRM systems allow us to keep track of who our customers are, and it allows us to identify potential needs they may have in the future, products they may want. And so these CRM systems are extremely important. Salesforce is a big one. That's probably one of the biggest ones. Epic in the healthcare system, that's a CRM system. It tracks every time you go to visit your doctor, they put that information in and it tracks it. And so it's really good for understanding who your customers are and what their needs are potentially in the future. The marketing concept. So basically the marketing concept is a business philosophy that the firm should provide goods and services that satisfy a customer's needs and wants through a coordinated set of activities that allow the firm to achieve its objectives. Basically the process is you assess customers' needs, you then develop products or services to satisfy those needs, and then you provide customer satisfaction. That's the whole process. Create a product, assess the need, create the product to fulfill that need, and then provide customer satisfaction. If you've ever seen the movie Robots, see a need, fill a need. That's basically what this comes down to. Markets and their classification. So market is a group of individuals or organizations, or both, that need products in a given category and that have the ability and willingness to pay, to authorize to purchase them. And so there's two different types of markets. There's the consumer market, or the B2C market, that's business to consumer market, and that consists of us. We're the people purchasing cell phones and computers and clothes and all that stuff. The B2B market is sometimes a little more professional, and so those are companies buying from other companies. Those are companies purchasing people from staffing firms. They're companies purchasing big ERP systems to run their accounting and their personnel infrastructure. And so consumer markets and business to business markets, those are really the two primary markets you want to focus on. Marketing strategy is basically a plan that will enable you to organize to make the best use of your resources and take advantage to make sure you're meeting those objectives. And so it basically consists of selecting a target market and then creating and maintenance of a marketing mix. And we'll show you what the marketing mix looks like here in a second. Basically the target market, that's a group of individuals or organizations or both for which we're developing the marketing mix suitable for that specific market. Couple of things in selecting the target market. Marketing managers typically will examine potential markets for their possible effects on the firm's sales, costs, and profits. A lot of times it comes down to, is this the right mix? Is this the right marketing target market for us to gain more revenues? We attempt to determine whether the organization has the resources to produce a marketing mix that meets the needs of a particular target market. And then a target market can range in size from millions of people to only a few. So if we think of a target market for Amazon, millions of people. If we think of a target market for Bugatti, very select few people. Or Rolex, very select few people. And so, for example, here in San Diego, we're probably not a great target market for the parka industry, right? So you're going to look more towards regions like Alaska or the north. And then vice versa, San Diego is a great target market for the surf industry, where in Alaska, probably not. And so you need to think about what I'm selling and what are the best markets for me to sell that product. Here's basically what a market segmentation or target markets look like. It's based on demographic, psychographic, geographic, and behavioristic. So demographic is basically age, gender, race, ethnicity, income, occupation, family size, all those general things that you potentially get asked on a survey. Psychographic are, what are your personal attributes? What are your motives and your lifestyles? A company like Patagonia, they really look at lifestyles and income, obviously, because it's expensive, but the lifestyle piece is huge for them because they want people who are outdoorsy, who are extreme, and that's who they sell to. Geographic, that's basically the region that you live in. Again, looking at surf industry here in San Diego is very big, where it's probably not going to be that big in Maine. And the parka industry or the snowshoe industry is big in Maine, not so much here in San Diego. And then finally, behavioristic, volume usage, end use, benefit expectations, brand loyalty. Those are all those things, that, again, why do you purchase Apple products? Because you may have brand loyalty. Why do you go to Costco? Because maybe you've got a big family and you have big volume usage. All those things are going to dictate what companies are selling to what specific market segmentation. The marketing mix, this is one of my favorite things, right? So the marketing mix consists of the 3 P's and the D. A business firm controls 4 important elements of marketing that it combines in a way that reaches a firm's target market. When combined, these 4 elements form the marketing mix. So the elements are the product, so the specific product we're looking to sell. The price, are we targeting people who make a lot of money? Or are we targeting people that make a little money? Okay, so the price is big. Do you purchase based on the price, okay, or the product? The promotion, okay, so how are we promoting this product? Is it buy one, get one free? Does that drive us? Or is it, a year-end sales? Does that drive us? Okay, so product, price, promotion, and then finally the placement or distribution. So it used to be placement, but the distribution is, how do I receive the product? Do I have to go to the store? Do I have to, get it mailed to me? This is where Amazon and Jeff Bezos have hit it right. They sell great products. Most of them at a pretty fair price. Most of them are discounted because of certain promotions. They always have those month end or the Amazon best deal. And then how do they distribute it? They send it right to your front door. Okay? And so very few companies can hit all of these. A company like Patagonia, really they're geared towards product, right? Quality. So that's what they're focused on. People buy Patagonia because of the product. Okay? So you have to think about it as you're selling, as you're marketing, which one of these or which couple of these, or is it all 4 of these, are you trying to get your product or your service, which one are you trying to leverage to get people to buy it? Okay, is it cheap? Is it expensive? Is it a great product? Is it an okay product? Is it being delivered to you, or do you have to go get it? Marketing research. This is a really important aspect of marketing because in order to understand if your product is working and to understand the needs of your client, you have to go out and ask people. Okay, so many of you may have already taken part in surveys if you're walking through the mall or at the end of a online purchase, they may ask you to take a survey. And so that's all stuff that we're getting. We're trying to understand as marketers, what are our needs of our clients? What are the needs of our clients? And then are we fulfilling those needs? Are we satisfying those needs? And so we'll use a lot of database management. We'll use online information services. We'll use the internet. You can also go purchase data sets from different organizations like the census, like Facebook. And so all of those things are research, trying to ascertain and trying to be able to be very effective and efficient with my limited marketing dollars. So I'm going to take those limited dollars and I want to make sure I'm hitting the right target. In order to understand that, in order to do that well, I've got to have good information. And then here's the 6 steps to marketing research. We define the problem. What problem are we trying to solve? We make a preliminary preliminary investigation, right? We look into potential opportunities. We plan the research. Are we going to use, a survey tool? Are we going to use interviews? Are we going to use phone surveys? And then what are we actually going to do for that research? What are the questions we're going to ask? We then gather factual information. We interpret that information. What does it mean? And then we reach a conclusion. Is the iPhone, is that a good product to start to sell based on the research that we've done? Will people purchase a phone that actually is a computer? That's it, folks. So that's marketing 101, basically. You'll learn more in your marketing class about this. I think it's a very interesting topic, and I think as a consumer, it's important for us to understand, what's happening behind the scenes, because it makes us better consumers, and then in the end, it'll make us better marketers if that's the path that we choose. And so, have a great day, and we will talk to you later.